Hey guys, welcome to episode number 14 of Intelligent Wrestling Talk. I am Dan Janoff.
And I got distracted by something on the screen, which can only mean one thing. I'm Sean Specs. Hello.
Hey, and if you are new to this show, welcome. This is our weekly wrestling show where we talk about the week that was wrestling, give some news, find our Facebook post of the week, where we find a favorite post within our Facebook group, and lastly, and most importantly, we have our Q&A with everybody in our group. What we do is about 24 hours before we record this, there is a Q&A thread posted, and everyone submits their questions, and we answer them on the air here. And if there's ever anything you want to skip to, say you want to hear about TNA or you just want to hear about the Q&A, you can just click to the time next to what you want to hear, and with the magic of YouTube, it just fast forwards you right to that point.
Or it says video error.
Or that.
Yeah.
Which hopefully it will not say when you do that for this week. But
I've had that a lot this week.
Yeah, YouTube's kind of been a little weird. But let's get the show started off and let's get into some Monday Night Raw. And the show would start off with Shawn Michaels coming out to the ring, basically just saying what you expect him to say, that what happened at Battleground will not happen at Hell in a Cell, that there will be a new WWE champion, and we would then see Randy Orton very, very, very slowly walking down to the ring,
Yes.
and saying that he's much better than Shawn, and then that Shawn always had it out for him, and that he'll beat Daniel Bryan at Hell in the Cell. We almost see a little bit of a confrontation in the ring, almost an RKO, almost a sweet chin music, and that would lead into Randy Orton's match. It wasn't not really much really happened with that, so that part we can skip and move right into later on with Triple H and Stephanie coming out and saying that the Big Show would grovel at their feet to avoid incarceration. And then we would see Daniel Bryan come out, and we all thought that he had something to say, but Alberto Del Rio seemed to have other things in mind, but he would attack him from behind, and that would lead into a match later that night. But between the two, it was a decent match, but we would see Randy Orton going in to check on Brie Bella in the trainer's room for her match earlier in the night, and Bryan would eventually run after her and be attacked from behind by Orton in the trainer's room.
It's kind of history repeating itself in a bit, because I'm sure when they've had Orton do that kind of thing before.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was with, but they always have him harassing women. It's
yeah,
and then he might do a poo in their shoe or something. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. It seemed like they're trying so hard to get Brie Bella over.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well that's really working at this point.
Oh, well, it works really well if you're not watching Raw. Every other show, it's like, yay, Raw.
Yeah, with all the stuff that happens on SmackDown and all their shenanigans.
Their sound shenanigans, yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's get into the last bit of Raw, which probably the most memorable point. It was the tag team title match between Cody Rhodes and Goldust against the Shield. One hell of a match. We would end up seeing Goldust get speared through the barricade.
An OMG moment indeed.
Yep.
See Roman press Y at the right time. There we go.
Yeah, I always had fun doing that in WWE 13.
Yeah.
But we would eventually see the Big Show come down the ring, knock out every member of the Shield.
Yeah, he got an insanely big pop.
Yeah.
I'm not used to him getting... I mean, we sort of talked about this last week. We're not... Mm-hmm. It's not the sort of thing that happens with him much. Getting like huge crowd cheers, but yeah, I thought someone else was coming down, and then it was Big Show. Again, hang on, got a bit too overexcited here.
But yeah, eventually that would lead to Cody Rhodes and Goldust actually getting the titles, and that would end the 5th longest WWE Tag Team title reign since 2002.
Overall, it was probably one of the best Raws in a while. The main event killed me though, because I, as much as I love Goldust and Cody, I also love the Shield.
Yeah, me
But
too.
the fact that it was Roman who got pinned makes it like a bigger thing, because as most of us probably predicted, I thought it'd be Seth that got pinned.
Yeah.
And then maybe tension, whatever. But the fact that it was Roman that got pinned was, I don't know, it just makes it a bigger thing, really.
Yeah, because Roman is the bigger guy. You figured he would be harder to get the win over.
So yeah, I guess a win over Reigns. That's quite hard to say.
Yeah.
He's a big win indeed.
Yeah. All right, so that's a bit of a quick run through of Raw there. Now, time to get into some NXT, and it would start with a return match from the week before. I think it was a week or 2 weeks before, rather, with the Ascension taking on Adrian Neville and Corey Graves, and it would end up being the same result as the Ascension would end up retaining their titles. But after the match, we would see Corey Graves end up turning on Adrian Neville.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing: it was either you or Tony that predicted that. They said that if they lose it, a week later, Corey Graves would probably turn on him.
Yeah, I think that one was Tony. I can't take credit for that one.
But yeah, that was a good prediction. I don't know whether it's kind of an obvious prediction, because I don't know. There's just something naturally heelish about Corey Graves, or the way I've wrote it down is as I've used their, I guess, more famous names. It's like, once Pac and James Keenan lost the tag titles, Keenan did in fact turn heel. And yes, it was a rematch, but that was a likely scenario.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess they'll be having them feud on for a little while.
Which should lead to some really good matches. They have faced each other in the past a couple of times, and
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, so they should have some really cool matches in the future. Hopefully, starting this week or next week or whenever it's done.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they do tape them in advance, but we don't.
I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks in advance, which is why it's always weird when they have a current angle on the show, because, as I was saying, it's a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about stuff that happened, air quotes, last week or a few days ago, but it won't actually happen till like 3 weeks in the future.
Yeah.
So it's a strange one, that.
Yeah. And I guess next, moving on, there's a match between Sasha Banks and Summer Rae versus Paige and Emma. I thought the match was good, though. I noticed the crowd was a little quiet throughout most of the match. Was kind of strange, because normally they're really into just about every match, but we would end up seeing Summer Rae would end up getting the pin over Paige.
Yeah, wasn't that Kelly's old move she used? K2.
I think so, yeah.
But I think Summer Rae was impressive. She can actually wrestle quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Well, better than I thought. I'll give her credit for that. She did that move a lot better than Kelly's ever done it.
Mm-hmm. And she certainly wrestles better than at least
John Cena.
John Cena, yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is just most of the current Diva roster. Really.
Yeah.
Not too many of them are much better, but all right, moving on into the final match of the night, the NXT Championship match between Sami Zayn and Bo Dallas. Match was pretty awesome. There was a little bit of controversy going in with there was a pinfall with the Bo's leg on the rope, and JBL would come out, restart the match.
I saw that coming a mile off, though. I knew there'd be some sort of false finish kind of thing. I don't know. It makes no sense with JBL being as heelish as he is doing,
Mm-hmm.
because You see him on NXT talking to Xavier Woods. You see him on JBL and Cole's show talking to Xavier Woods. Now, how come on SmackDown he didn't know who Xavier Woods was?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
And then he was like, "Oh, what kind of parent names their child Xavier?" And then Michael Cole got X-Men wrong.
Yeah, it's just no good.
So yeah, I'm not 100% convinced on this whole JBL heel GM thing. I don't think it's working well because none of his promos make any sense whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
No.
But getting back into the match though, we would see there was a lot of near falls, and I gotta say, there's something about Sammy that really brings out the best in just about everyone he faces it. But even though Bo would end up using the exposed turnbuckle to win the match, I think the fans won with this one with a pretty good match.
Yeah, I mean, someone said in the group that it was Ring of Honor style. I don't think that. I think that's giving Bo Dallas way too much credit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But no, it was a fantastic main event. I mean, either he has improved or Sammy just made him look insanely good.
Yeah.
But I think as you say, every Sammy match so far, apart from the one against El Local, was possibly pay-per-view quality. And let's face it, Danny boy, the matches that do make it to pay-per-view are usually far from pay-per-view quality, unless they have specific people in them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So that's about all the important stuff that happened with NXT.
We're racing through this.
Yeah, we are. But yeah, let's get into some TNA Impact, and the show would start off with Dixie once again, really talking over the fans as they were booing her very loudly. I didn't really know what exactly she said until Mike Tenay ended up repeating what she said, which apparently that she was putting a $50,000 bounty on AJ, and I don't know if you got a good look at the money, but that money didn't look real.
Well, here's the thing about what I noted from that whole segment. Yeah, she put a bounty on AJ. Now, if she wants to put chocolatey, coconutty treats on AJ, that's her own business. People in the UK will enjoy that joke, unless you have bounties there. The chocolatey, coconutty, yummy snack. But anyway, but yes, surely that kind of thing needs to stay backstage, her and her kinky, chocolatey ways. Unfortunately, it wasn't that kind of bounty, and yes, I say with the fake money, but I'm not I don't see dollars that often, so they didn't look fake to me, but I don't really pay much attention to that kind of thing. Yeah, it did seem like she was ignoring the crowd, but then out of nowhere, she acknowledged them.
Yeah, that was more surprising than anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, why does Dixie sound more redneck than AJ nowadays? She never used to sound so redneck, and now she just sounds really over the top. It's weird.
I'm guessing that's maybe she thinks that would make her sound more like a heel, I guess. I don't know. I don't.
Rednecks are heels.
That's about my only explanation for that.
Rednecks wear heels. Possible. Anyway.
I don't know. I'm just saying maybe that's her perception of.
Yeah, unless that's just her trying to speak more clearly, but I don't know. I don't know whether it is intentional that she's trying to come across as a redneck, but I know she's from Texas, though, isn't she? Possibly.
I think so.
So I don't know. Maybe that's her actual voice, and she's just been hiding it.
Yeah,
for
maybe.
This insane heel moment. But bounties are delicious, but also when it comes to attacking people for those kind of bounties, it's been done a million times. I think the best one was the one they had on possibly Goldberg.
Yeah.
And they had Jindrak and Lance Cade steal the briefcase from Evolution.
Yeah, I remember that.
See, that was good, but this one just seemed so predictable. You get a load of low card. I mean, the first one was Jesse. You can't get much low card than that. Also, I did wanted to back to NXT just for a second.
Sure.
No hero, no English.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Don't know, Gregory Helms. At the end of her promo, at the end of Dixie's promo, I thought she was going to use the, she's going, now that, and I thought she was going to finish by going, that's what's best for business, because that would have been brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved that.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, seeing as she was name dropping them last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Bully Ray came out, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
His voice was giving out big time.
Yeah. And he would end up coming out and saying that he would end up beating him up and collecting on that bounty.
Well, let's just say that everyone who attempted it, he was the most likely to do it.
Yeah, because we had you mentioned Jesse tried, Knox and Bischoff tried, Daniels tried, and Kazarian tried.
Yeah, that whole segment with Kazarian, and that was really Batman-y. It was kind of just disappears into the fog or smoke or mist or
Whatever.
I know it was a fire extinguisher, but it was kind of like the whole classic Batman with Adam West. Yeah, just disappearing into the night. But yeah, did Chris Sabin even attempt it? Because I didn't see that. He was basically, he said to Velvet Sky, like, I'm gonna get the bounty. Bye. And then Velvet was like, no, that's not like you. Because clearly she's not paid attention to anything he's done within the past month, even though she's been stood right there.
Yeah, apparently not. I think I think Samoa Joe ended up getting to him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I don't have that in my notes, but I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that was a good. I mean, I enjoy watching Samoa Joe. Really, I've enjoyed watching him since the early days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he'll always sort of be compared to a younger Taz.
Yeah.
Just because of his finisher and some of his moves and whatnot. Even though Samoa Joe is a far better wrestler than Taz.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Taz could have gone like 60 minutes in a match. No.
Yeah, he's certainly very athletic for his size.
Insanely quick.
Yeah, but getting back into, I guess that what was sort of the main event of the show, not really a match per se, but we had the contract signing between Bully Ray and AJ Styles. It was kind of your typical back and forth, and that we usually see at these contract signings.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that they made it almost like more like a political debate almost. The way they had all when they had like the contracts on the podiums, as opposed to just some random table.
Yeah.
I don't know. It made it seem a bit more professional, possibly.
Yeah.
But it's your standard. Every contract signing turns into a brawl.
And then that's certainly what would happen there. And I guess we have a few little pieces left to talk about. We have Ethan Carter the third.
Yes.
He'll be making his debut at Bound for Glory, and I understand you have some extra notes.
Yeah. Ethan Carter. Yeah, we were all sort of wondering, like, is he going to be some sort of relation to Dixie just because of the surname? Maybe like some son or something. But no, we found out in his little photo shoot skit promo thing that he referred to it as Aunt D, so obviously not a mummy. So we'll see where that goes and whether he's going to fight for her, he's going to like feud with AJ or
and
whatnot. I mean, that's a great way to elevate him.
Yeah.
Put him straight in against AJ. And I think he has what it takes to do that. Because when in NXT, Derek Bateman was he had some really good matches. A lot he doesn't get credit for because with NXT not being as widely seen as the other shows.
Yeah.
And it's bad because that is the best show. But
Yeah.
putting Ethan Carter against AJ Styles is it doesn't hurt AJ. It helps
No.
Ethan.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah. It sounds like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it. I guess it takes some of the attention off Dixie slightly,
Yeah.
so Ethan can do more of her talking for her, possibly, because he can cut a good promo.
Yeah.
I also noticed that the little bit of interaction between Bully Ray and the rest of Aces and Eights, I noticed that he seemed, the way he was talking to them was quite desperate. Like he was
Yeah.
trying to make good with them and whatnot.
Yeah.
I also noticed that Bad Influence have a slightly remixed theme. It's subtle, but I have good ears for subtle music changes. It had like some slight remixiness to it, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't notice that, but that's a good catch though.
Yes. Also, have you been watching Eric and Joe's road trip videos?
I have not.
I haven't, but I want to catch up on them because they seem quite amusing.
Yeah.
And also the confrontation between Angle and Rude
Yeah.
was a standard confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
The bit I picked out, I guess the bit that kind of got my attention was the fact that when Rude put Angle in the crossface, there was a very slight Benoit chant.
Interesting. I didn't hear that.
It was really quiet, and I think I only heard it because, as I said before the show, my headphones kind of they pick up a lot of background noises, which is good because then you hear things like that. But also kind of bad because you actually hear the calls in the ring when they're doing moves as well.
Oh.
They're kind of like magic headphones. They just yeah.
I need to get these headphones. All right, so I guess it's time to move into to SmackDown. The show would start off with Brad and Vicky in the ring saying that they put security all throughout the arena to keep the Big Show out, and Brian would end up coming out to the ring and saying, "Oh, the Big Show is here," and his music would play, but apparently he wasn't there yet. But he would also have uh, Cody Rhodes and Goldust coming down to the ring. And of course, kind of predictable SmackDown, we would hear that there would be a 6-man tag that would take place later on between Brian, Cody, and Goldust, like taking on the Shield.
They should just change the show to 6-man tag down.
Yeah, or some sort of tag.
Yeah, tag down.
Yeah.
Player.
And and then a little later, apparently the security wasn't that great because Big Show would end up coming down to the ring through the crowd. And apparently, with the tickets signed by Daniel Bryan, you can apparently walk into the ring like he did.
Yeah, I noticed the signature as well.
Yeah. And Brad and Vicky would come out to the ring, try to get him to leave the ring. But Big Show would end up knocking out Brad, and I think he sold that perfectly.
Do you know why he sold that perfectly?
Hmm.
Because he actually smacked him in the face.
Really?
Yeah, that was a heavy shot. He ragdolled it beautifully, but that was a very powerful, very real smack. You can see the way his face kind of hits back. It's kind of, I don't know, just before he falls, you actually see him really get smacked in the jaw with it.
Yeah, because his head just jerked back really quickly.
Yeah. Also, you hear like the proper like I can't do the noise. My hands are too bassy apparently. Yeah. It's he's gonna be a bit bruised. It reminded me of the time where Wolverine punched Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, yeah.
Legit shot, yeah. It was that. It was essentially that. But yeah, Maddox took a huge shot there.
Yeah. And then next, what would happen? We would see a match between Biggie Langston and taking on CM Punk. The match wasn't really so much of really important. It was really what happened afterwards that would be more noteworthy. obviously we would see CM Punk end up winning the match, and afterwards we would see Heyman come out to the ring with Ryback and Axel, congratulating on defeating a decent rookie. Remember that decent rookie is what he called Big E Langston, and then they would go back and forth talking about their match and building up for Hell in a Cell. And Heyman would command Axel and Ryback to attack Punk, but we would see some unexpected help in the form of Big E Langston, seemingly now a face turn for him.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear him talk and the things he says and the personality he has, like if you watch like Backstage Fallout or the when they do their like Q&A stuff for like with superstars, he's a funny, friendly guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this face turn will just come very naturally to him. And I think we know who our next IC champion will be. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seems that way.
Yeah.
And
it's just weird because you get certain people who's like, say, like Dean Ambrose. You can't imagine him as anything but a heel because his personality and his attitude are completely heelish. But you look at Langston, and even in interviews, he's so funny. He just has that face personality, that really likable quality. So I think this is going to be his big chance to shine. I totally see him winning the IC title.
Yeah, and we saw that coming over across when he was in NXT.
Yeah, he was probably their biggest babyface in NXT.
Yeah.
Also for a while in FCW as well, he was a big face.
Yeah. And lastly, what would happen on SmackDown? That 6-man tag between Bryan, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust taking on the Shield. Another great match between these guys. We would end up seeing Bryan getting a knee to the face of Dean Ambrose, getting the win. Yes, yes, yes. And that ends the show.
Indeed. But don't forget the other tag match that was on. Kofi and Miz versus Rowan and Brody Lee. And I always enjoy seeing Brody Lee on TV. There seems to be a few discus clothesline and elbows as finishers nowadays, I've noticed. Then after the match, Bray says that Miz should enjoy this world as much as he can because he's going to take it all away from him.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
Yes. And also for the main event as well, I love seeing Danielson and Ambrose in the ring together. I really hope they have some of their great matches together again, like they did in the past. Because there's so many videos online where they're just beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice to see them maybe once Bryan eventually gets the title, maybe they feud over the WWE Championship.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can you imagine a triple threat between Danielson, Ambrose, and Rollins? This is after Shield's done.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a 5-star match all the way.
Yeah, and that match doesn't even need Punk in it.
No.
Because that's the thing, if you have too much of a good thing in one match, that'll overshadow everything, and people won't have their chance to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be hard to focus on them. But if you have, say, 3 amazingly talented guys, then it's a gold match, really.
Yeah. I'm sure it would definitely be wise for them to put that on sometime in the future. Not really sure how long the Shield is going to be running for, but maybe up until Mania, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, I don't mind watching them. You know, if they're having meaningful matches, it's when they start to kind of just get thrown into random opening matches and against nobodies. Really, I don't know. I don't like the term nobodies. It's kind of sort of disrespectful to Zack Ryder.
Oh.
I do like Zack Ryder, but I just don't think they can do anything with him now that's going to really make people care anymore.
No,
he still has a fan base. That's he gets some of the loudest chants. If we want Ryder, but it's weird. He gets more reaction when he's not there than when he is.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that will conclude SmackDown. And now it is time for some wrestling news.
Indeed, I've got a few stories. Nothing huge, but there's some interesting bits I've picked out. Rey Mysterio's back. Well, he made his in-ring return, teaming with Sin Cara a few nights ago to defeat Alberto Del Rio and Wade Barrett at a house show in Guadalajara in Mexico. Guadalajara in Mexico.
Okay.
I can't pronounce that. People will know where I mean.
Yeah.
Also, I have some Ring of Honor news as well.
All right.
It looks like Victoria / Tara and Jesse Sorensen will be making their ROH debuts. And I do mean Sorensen, not one half of the Bromans. They are different people.
Yeah.
There's a video of Maria and Victoria, who I'm guessing will be wrestling under her real name as Lisa Marie Varon, which I think I mentioned either last week or week before. There's a video of them having some sort of altercation in a bar, which I saw.
Yeah.
Instant feud there, and people react more to it. Like if someone, I guess, relights a feud that they've had in like a previous company, and the audience are very aware of that, they'll react to that. So that'd be good. A bit of 2K14 news, WWE 2K14 news. I always like to add a bit of wrestling game news too when there's stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We've officially seen all the Shield entrances. They look as good as they could, really, with the limitations in what they can do.
Yeah.
Seth looks okay, but I think he looks a bit too muscly. There's a lot of people saying that he looks almost as big as Roman.
Yeah.
Which has been your favourite? I mean, you've seen them all.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been your favourite? Who do you think's more accurate? I think Ambrose.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
But Reigns is good as well.
Yeah, I liked his.
I just think they should have made Rollins a bit more agile. Like have him properly leap over, do like that little dive over the barricade rather than just leaping over it.
Mm-hmm.
I shamefully watched David Otunga's entrance.
Oh, dear.
Does he still have the power as his theme music?
I don't know. It's been so long since he's wrestled on TV.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I mean, he's going to probably be the least used person ever in that game, possibly. Yeah, there's also, moving on from that, there's a new Dixie Carter shirt out that's causing a whole lot of controversy. If anyone's interested, go. It's tnashop.com. I'll find it on there. Also, NXT wrestler Tyler Breeze. Everyone loves Tyler Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
He was in action on Friday's WWE live event in Knoxville, Tennessee, losing a match to Justin Gabriel. And this is a proper WWE house show. Also, several reports have indicated that Tyson Kidd and Hunico, who's been missing for quite a while, but they're both back on the circuit. Not the indie circuit, on the house show circuit until they get to TV again. They've been putting on some of the best matches of WWE tours, apparently. Officials are said to be very happy about their chemistry in the ring and the way they've been put on matches. They've been match of the night on a consistent basis. Hunico's a very underrated talent.
Yeah, he is.
He definitely I don't know what they've done with Camacho. I don't know where he's gone. He hasn't been released, I know that much.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of banned words and terms that have been revealed as well. I was going to read them, but there's a lot of them. So what I think we should do is make a promise that we'll link it, then probably forget to link it. There's a whole load. I'll put the version I saw on eWrestling News just because it was linked from something else, and I thought, okay, I'll have a look.
Okay.
There's some stupid. I mean, I'll read a few of them, but I won't read the full list. We'll have the full list and the link in the description. But they're not allowed to use the term "granddaddy of them all" because it seems to. They said it ages WrestleMania.
Yeah. They
can't use slobber knocker or any term that promotes animal cruelty. It's stupid, really. I mean, they're totally childized childizing. That's a word because I can pronounce it. They're just doing essentially just the rubbish of the nonsense of the shenanigans.
Yes.
Undertaker's not allowed to call his move Hell's Gate anymore. It's just been renamed Triangle Submission Hold.
Huh.
They're not allowed to use the term title changes hands.
Why? That's weird.
No idea. Also, they're not allowed to use the term 5-star match or match of the year.
Sounds really silly.
The referee didn't see it, as apparently has to be replaced with the referee's vision was blocked. Yeah, there's a load of stupid ones.
Those last few sounded pretty stupid.
Yeah. And that'll do it for news this week.
Okay. Now let's move into our next segment, which is our Facebook post of the week. We take a look at the posts within our Facebook group from over the past week, and we decide which one is our favorite. And
there wasn't a huge amount to choose from. There hasn't been anything that's really stood out, unfortunately. It's, the one that we're choosing for this one is the one that I think could have got like the biggest response, and it has got quite a lot of response as well. It's basically, it was a poll question by Ken Richardson, who asked, who do we think has the best spear? And there's several choices. I mean, people have oh, that's hilarious. Someone's added Scorpion.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, the people have added choices. So I mean, it's, who do you think has the best spear? Not just in WWE, but it can be TNA, New Japan, Ring of Honor. It's a move that seems to be very overused at the moment. So I mean, if you're not part of the group and you didn't vote on it, just write down in the comments who you think has the best spear.
Yeah, I've always liked rhinos. It always seemed very, like, not necessarily over the top, but it's like this really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Impactful.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, with the gore, gore, gore. Speaking of gores, I had notes on a gore that occurred on SmackDown. El Torito goring Zeb Coulter.
Oh.
Yes.
I haven't seen this one.
That was hilarious. I just wrote gore, gore, gore. That's my notes. And then hoped that I'd remember what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Ken. It's any kind of debate like that. I mean, it's not really a debate. It's just kind of picking your favourite. But stuff like that, it's always good to get people's point of view on and whatnot. And the spear or gore is definitely one of those moves that gets people's attention.
Yeah.
That's So if you like spears, then
yeah.
I don't really know what to say about what else to say on that subject. But yes, that gets the post of the week. We do encourage people to put us much interesting posts. I mean, there's no prizes, like I said last week, no prizes, but we want to keep this place as intelligent and fun as possible. They two can be combined very easily. So yeah, it's get searching, or be smart and come up with your own little post yourself, not just a copy and paste. We do encourage original thinking.
Agreed.
Yes, and that does it for that.
Yeah. And
as you throw up, apparently.
I don't know.
Have you just seen Tensai on a wrecking ball?
No, I've actually stayed away from that.
You need to see it. It is the funniest thing.
Oh no, my brain is telling me no.
I'm telling you, yes, damn it. After this show, just watch it. It's brilliant. I couldn't stop laughing at it.
Going back to the Q&A portion of the show, where we post a thread in our Facebook group, and everyone asks us questions, and we answer it here. Our first question is from Jade. Which faction apparel did you guys sport in the WCW era? There were several to choose from: WCW, NWO, NWO Wolfpack, the Flock, and the Four Horsemen, and the Latino World Order. I remember always supporting the red and black, and my brother always supporting the black and white. Good times.
Classic NWO. Well, before it just got ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really collect all of those back in the day with WCW. I did have, or I'll still do have, an old Sting shirt, so I guess I'd probably get the Wolfpack one just because of Sting.
Yeah, I also have an official WCW T-shirt though, with a logo and whatnot.
Hmm.
Got that, but that's it. I just found WCW merchandise really hard to get hold of,
Yeah,
especially official ones. There's so many fakes out there.
yeah. Okay, moving into our next question. It's from Michelle, who asks, which title belt do you think is held the most value right now?
Oh, NXT Championship.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna go with that one too.
There's, I mean, everything in NXT right now. Everyone who's challenging for them is so passionate and desperate for that. It
Yeah,
just seems that the WWE titles are just kind of, who can we throw it on this week? But
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like they work harder to get the NXT titles. So I mean, yeah, I think the most important title or the most valuable one right now is the NXT title that Bo Dallas currently has.
hmm
It
yeah.
certainly isn't the Impact Wrestling Championship,
No, no, definitely not.
but even that sometimes seems to hold more value than like the WWE title,
Hmm.
or especially the World title. That's pretty worthless. And I don't care what people say, Cena having that title will not add value to it. The
No, I
damage
mean,
the damage has been done with that title.
yeah, I mean, maybe it'll bring attention to it, but that's about it. All right, the next question is another one from Jade, who says, also, I will be attending Monday Night Raw uh, this Monday in Memphis, and when I go to wrestling shows, I am very loud. What chance would you like to hear me try to start?
We want Benoit. Clap, 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 clap. We want Benoit. He needs to have a Benoit chant. Come on now. Wait, is that?
Yeah, yeah, and definitely
No, I mean, is that
anything.
is that a TV taping though? He doesn't say whether it's a TV one or not.
I think this one's live.
Right. We want Benoit.
Yeah, and also anything supporting the group or the show. Anything IWT or make a IWT sign, maybe. I don't know.
Or some sort of TNA chant. Not TNA, but like AJ Styles or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Or bring back Russo.
Oh, jeez.
Bring back a Adam Lee.
Oh
We want
no.
Coach. Oh, that'd be quite good. I never really had an issue with Coach. Only when he wrestled.
Yeah,
Again, the biggest air quotes you could possibly imagine. Wrestled. But just try and start something controversial, Jade. That's all, because
yeah,
people will join in.
yeah.
That's my wise words for that.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And our next question is from Jordan, who asks, "Could WWE remake the cruiserweight and would the cruiserweight division and would it succeed? This could put people like Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, well, maybe not, the Usos, or even bring back people like Evan Bourne and some indie and or NXT talents."
Well, they were supposed to be making a cruiserweight show a while ago, and nothing's come of it. And they actually had people like Jack Evans, a bunch of Ring of Honor guys. This is why they were trying to get those guys for their show, and they were going to have like Tyson Kidd on there, going to have Hunico on there.
Hmm.
They had all this planned, and nothing has happened with it. I think they definitely need something for the lightweights to fight for, but I think they should bring back the light heavyweight champion, even though light heavyweight, that is such a contradictory term.
Yeah.
How can you be a light heavyweight?
You really can't.
That's like being a skinny, obese person.
Yeah.
You're either one or the other. If it's a choice between cruiserweight and light heavyweight, I can see him probably going back to cruiserweight, as long as Hornswoggle never has it.
Yeah.
I'd even accept El Torito, because that guy can actually wrestle.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's a legend, ironically enough. Yeah, so, I mean, whether it'd succeed, I can see it, but I think unfortunately, it'd probably get relegated to, like, superstars.
Yeah.
But then again, that'd draw attention to superstars.
That's true.
I don't think WWE needs to really make any more shows, because enough of them aren't on a television network anyway, so they need to do something with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right. Next question is from Michelle. She asked, which wrestler do you think would win an unscripted comedy battle?
Colt Cabana, next question.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing.
Or Santino, he's naturally funny. Or Derek Bateman. But, see, it's tough because there's a lot of naturally funny guys.
Yeah.
Because Matt Bloom, who's Tensai and Albert and A-Train and Giant Bernard and whatnot, he's actually a really funny guy.
Yeah.
As is Big Show. As much as I hate it, as is Cena.
Yeah. And I've also found Regal to be pretty funny at times.
Oh, Regal's hilarious. And Mick Foley. But
yeah.
I think, it's a tough one. But I think if it was improvised comedy, I think Colt Cabana would win.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he seems to be like one of the best at anything unscripted.
Oh yeah, he's a genius.
He really is. He really is.
Or a junius, because he's Jewish.
yeah, it could be either or, I guess.
A junius. Yeah.
Okay, next question's from Damie. Well, this question is about TNA. What do you guys think about storylines that's going on between Sting and Magnus, also Aces and Eights, and what do you think about Dixie? What did Dixie's doing to AJ Styles? I think we sort of done this.
Yeah,
already.
we sort of covered this in over the last couple of weeks, but I guess to kind of highlight what we said, the whole thing with Sting and Magnus, it's kind of that storyline is essentially passing the torch.
Yeah.
There's not much more that can be said about that. It's going to lead to a Magnus heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't forget, he came into TNA as a heel.
Yeah.
He's had 2 heel runs, British Invasion, and when he debuted as Brutus Magnus, which a lot of people don't remember that he came in as a modern day gladiator, which is obviously a play on him being on the UK Gladiators TV show when he was, at least had wrestled as, when he was called Oblivion on that.
Yeah.
His real name's Nick Aldis. I'll just throw that out there as a random fact.
Yeah.
As for Aces and Eights, I think they've lost all their members, yes.
Yeah, they're now down to 3.
Their presence just isn't there.
No,
so that needs to... I always hate it when big stables kind of break up because they're entertaining. Even if it is just beatdowns, it's entertaining. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Always has been, ever since like NWO.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think they need to end it before the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, it seems that it's run its course.
Yeah.
I think.
And about what Dixie's doing to AJ, again, it's just a mirror of what Vince did to Stone Cold, pretty much.
Okay, next question is from John. Who do you think will win their first world title besides Sandow within the next year?
Cesaro?
Yeah. Cesaro, Ambrose.
I think it's too early for Ambrose. He'll be next year,
Think so?
possibly.
Yeah.
They're still building him, even
Yeah.
though he can carry any title. But if they're the people they're most serious about pushing, I find they wait and then give them a long reign.
Yeah.
The people that have sort of come into the company, won the world title or WWE title quite quickly, haven't held it for that long.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months maximum. Ambrose has had the US title for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, I think probably by the end of next year, then he'll probably be more in the world title picture.
Okay.
Because I think he would have been in the WWE long enough to get. I mean, he's already over. He gets the biggest reaction out of all of them
Yeah.
because people who have like followed his career from like CCW to FCW to
Yeah.
WWE and whatnot. Even like the untelevised house show NXT shows where he was dressed as a banana that time.
Yeah.
That's an amazing image, but but yeah, people respond to him, and they've. I believe that he's the only member of the Shield that's had a "Let's Go" chant.
Yeah.
Like there's usually like a "Let's Go Ambrose,"
Yeah.
because I think he's the most interesting one out of all of them.
Yeah. I agree with
All
that.
Roman Reigns does is just scream. He's essentially Melina, because all she did was scream.
That's true.
Um, I don't think Batista'd have sex with Roman Reigns. I don't think John Morrison would.
Probably not.
So, I mean, if I had to choose between those guys, I'd probably say realistically it'd be Cesaro.
Yeah.
Because again, he came into WWE ready. And his big swings in officially confirmed for 2K14 anyway. The only gripe about it is you can only do it 3 times.
Aw.
But let's not forget there's create a move, create a finisher. So we should be able to get it at least 8.
That'd be good.
Hopefully. But yeah, I mean, it's a move that's always been in it. But yeah. So yeah, that's Cesaro's my choice.
Alrighty. Moving on next to Silva from Silva, who asks, "Who do you think would be the most likely to get cast as a hipster in a crappy Disney film out of Robbie E, Zack Ryder, Jack Evans, or Summer Rae?"
Going by the gimmick, I'd probably say Jack Evans
Yeah.
with his whole J Dog thing.
Yeah. I think that would work the best for me too.
Yeah. I mean, Summer Rae'd probably be like the bitchy, one. I think Jack Evans, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I think the others would be too. I think they'd fill other cliche things.
Yeah. And next question is from Benjamin, who asks if Bobby Roode could go back in time in WWF 1999-2000 as his present self, would he succeed as a main eventer?
I think he would.
Yeah.
The only thing that would stop him, if he was at current time now,
Yeah.
possibly. I don't know his age. I know he's not old,
No.
but I think they'd be more likely to have him from when he was younger, like they did with Orton,
Yeah.
and build him up to where he is now. Then I don't think. I don't know. I don't know really. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think because he already gets so many comparisons to the Triple H that I think they might want to end up changing his gimmick.
Yeah.
Maybe something different, and I don't know, because with him right now, it's perfect with the way he is. I'm afraid if they would change it at all, that could probably damage his character.
Yeah, I actually agree there. I see a lot of Van Anderson in him as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if he worked in WWF at that time. He'd probably have a lot of Pat Patterson in him as well.
Yep.
Uh,
Alrighty then.
that was a dirty joke.
All right, moving on from that. Next question is from Tom, who asks, "How long do you think Cody and Goldust will be tag team champions, and who do you think they will lose the titles to, rather?"
I think from their performances lately, I think they're going to have a decent run with them.
Yeah.
I can't really see him losing them anytime soon because Goldust is in the best shape he's been in years.
Yeah.
Cody seems a lot faster, and he was already fast, but he just seems a lot faster now. So, I mean, if they're going to lose him, they'll probably lose him to the Wyatts.
Yeah. I can see that.
I can't see Shield getting them back.
No.
I can't see Primetime Players taking them.
No.
Or Usos. I mean, the only ones they could probably lose them to is probably like Real Americans.
Yeah, I was going to say them too.
So, I mean, there seems to be a lot more face tag teams than heel tag teams.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, it's probably going to be the Wyatts out of everyone, really. All the Real Americans. But I think if the rumors are true that Cesaro, they're going to want to turn Cesaro babyface.
Yeah.
Which he's already getting that kind of pop anyway.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't put the tag titles on him. So I think that kind of brings Wyatt family into the pick for me.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Yeah, and I think they'll probably keep them for at least the next couple of months, if not longer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next question is from Hector, who asks, "What is your opinion on Langston's face turn? Is it the right move to get his career going?"
I'll just say go back and listen to what we said on SmackDown because we've answered this question pretty much there. There's nothing else we can really say about it.
No. All right, and then first of three from Tim, who asks, "What are some gimmicks that would have been better suited for other people? Who and why?" I mean, I know of a few that shouldn't really have the current gimmick they have, but I don't know who they would be better suited for. Like for instance, like Drew McIntyre or even a Tensai or.
Yeah, I mean the only one that quickly comes to mind is the whole they should swap Jinder Mahal for Kurt Hawkins. It's what everyone's been saying for ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why they had Kurt Hawkins cut his hair. Because that's like saying, no, he isn't going to be in 3MB.
Yeah, I can't really think of any others.
Nah.
Okay, next question from Tim, who asks, what was your biggest markout moment in the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, and the PG Era?
To be fair, well, to be honest, I still really enjoy the moment when Benoit won the world title.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
Also, I think my biggest markout moment was of recent times was when Ambrose won the US title.
Yeah.
But that's just because, like I say, I followed his career for so long, and that was an epic moment.
Yeah. I just sort of wrote an answer for all the eras that he asked for. I wasn't sure if he wanted like the biggest one out of the three, so I just put three of them. The one for the Attitude Era, I'd have to go with the one when Stone Cold gave Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and The Rock the beer bath for the first time.
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
that was good.
And the Ruthless Aggression Era, when Brock Lesnar suplexed the Big Show at the top rope and make the whole ring pretty much just destroyed. My jaw sort of dropped when that happened because, to my knowledge, that never really happened before. And then when they redid it with Mark Henry and the Big Show, they pretended like it never happened before then.
That annoys me. Oh, yeah. That really annoyed me.
I thought that was strange. And the one for the current era, I guess, was when CM Punk won the title after his pipe bomb, because the crowd was fairly intense, and the whole match was great, and
That
then
was a brilliant way. Yeah, I'm going to say that as well. Plus, Colt Cabana and Ace Steel were in the in the audience.
yeah,
I'm not sure many people recognised Ace or would have known who he was, but it was like Colt
no.
Cabana.
It's like, oh, wait, there he's on camera. Whoa. And you could sort of hear him in the background when he was wrestling with Cena on the outside. You could sort of hear him,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool. All right. Next one from Tim. His last one is best childhood moment that involved wrestling in some way.
I mean, if it's kind of meeting them, I met Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
was awesome. That's more like a more sort of personal thing.
Yeah.
But from watching it, there was one thing that I remember seeing on like an old, when they used to do like music videos for like wrestling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were kind of like to more promote either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. This is when they just had the four.
Yeah.
Which really wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
There was one wrestler in particular, and to this day I have never worked out who he was. And Google has been no help, but it's kind of a big moment because I thought it was really kind of gross at the time. There was a wrestler who was wearing, I think he was wearing a mask. It was either like just a normal kind of, I don't know what it was, but he basically took the mask off.
Yeah.
And he had like oil all over his face.
Right.
And I've asked millions of people all over the world. No one has been able to help me at all.
Oh.
And I was thinking, was it Adam Baum? Was it, I had like a whole list of people, but see, that was more, I wouldn't say that was like a best moment, but that was definitely kind of, that was probably the one moment that I remember that's got me kind of really sort of researching stuff that I witnessed when I was younger.
Yeah.
Which in turn has kind of helped me find a lot of stuff that I did watch as a kid, and there's a load of good stuff like watching Doinks matches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as opposed to like, I guess he wants to know about childhood mark out moments.
Yeah.
I didn't have any.
Well, the one that I kept on coming back to when I first started watching wrestling, I think I was 4 or 5 at the time, and I was watching it with my dad, and it I don't even know why I remember this, but it was one of the matches Sting and Ric Flair had way back in the day when Sting had his blonde flat top haircut.
Yeah.
Watching him and then just seeing getting into the face paint, I thought that was cool, and for years after that for Halloween I'd always paint my face up to try to look like him.
Surfer Sting.
Yep.
It is.
All right. Moving on to Michelle's question here. Don't you think by now refs shouldn't be treated like they would fly off in a slight breeze?
Yeah. Earl Hebner is the worst for that.
Yeah.
That guy cannot bump.
No, definitely not.
And also, I noticed when he was doing some sort of pinfall, he wasn't even looking at the wrestlers. He was staring at his hand and the mat. I don't know.
That didn't look good.
He's probably the most annoying referee, especially
Yeah.
when he does the 2 count and he does that weird like stumble, like on his knees.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've kicked out and made him jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Earl Hebner. It annoys me too much. But yeah, they should be more sturdy.
Yeah. Yeah, just like a simple punch would just do barely nothing to another wrestler, but to a referee, it's like, okay, you can be knocked unconscious for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what? How did the referee die? Well, he got a slight paper cut at home and he just exploded. There's blood everywhere.
Probably bled to death right there.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right, next question. I'm not quite sure if I should read this one, but I'll do it anyway. Do you think Brie Bella gets a rash from Daniel Bryan's beard down there? If you know what I mean. Michelle made me ask that.
Yeah. See, I have a feeling that Michelle didn't ask her to ask that, but also, as I know them two so well, yeah. I'm
I'm not sure if we should answer that one.
I'm gonna say that he probably like ties it in like a little beardy ponytaily thing, if that occurs.
Maybe.
So I don't know. We've not seen her walking weird.
No.
So I'm guessing that I don't think she probably has a problem with it.
No. No. Okay, then moving on to the next question. From Michelle. Are there any wrestling themes you heard that you were shocked to find out that they were stock music and not specifically created for the superstar? My biggest shock was the Hardy Boys theme, and I was wondering why it has never been on a WWE CD.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of them. Like, you got like Crash Holly's theme and
Yeah.
Too Cool's theme. The You Look Fly Today one.
Yeah.
Jim Johnson has nothing to do with those themes. They were all stock music, and they were all. I found a load on extrememusic.com. Sponsor? Yeah. Not really. Me and my Tobuscus references. Anyway, yeah, there was a lot. There was like Trish's theme, you know, the one that went.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The Radicals theme was on there. There was so many. Like WCW, most of their music was stock music.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been quite a few that I guess they just pick like the perfect stock music for them, you know.
Yeah,
and a lot of time, like you remember Hurricane's original theme, the one that was kind of not the one that was like dun 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 dun, because that obviously was a Jim Johnson one.
Yeah,
the one that was almost like a hip hop style kind of one.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's actually the menu music from the film White Chicks as well.
I didn't know that. That's.
But yeah, I mean, WWE kind of added, you know, the stand back, there's a hurricane coming through, and then that music kicked in. I mean, they will kind of add quotes to stock music, and then sometimes what they'll do is they will cover stock music, make it their own.
Yeah.
Which they've done for quite a few people. Even Jerry the King Lawler's theme music is stock music.
Yeah, I didn't even know that one.
But it fits him so perfectly, you'd think it was specifically done for him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that are really obvious stock musics, like, you know, Just Incredible's one. Jerry Lynn's. In fact, the guy that did Jerry Lynn's music also did the Hardy Boys Loaded theme as well. Zach Tempest, his name is.
Yeah.
He also did Crash Holly's theme. So yeah, there's been a few that were kind of shocked that they weren't WWE made, and a lot of them are better than the ones that they do make. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, I never really knew that they were all stock. I thought, you know, they owned everything, and until, you know, Michelle pointed that out to me, and because I used to collect all the WWE, the volume or the music or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Over the years, and I looked back, I'm like, wait a minute, I could have sworn I heard the Hardy Boys theme on somewhere, but no, it just didn't exist on there. And
a lot of them were used on Nickelodeon. That You Look Fly Today was, the instrumental to that was used quite a lot. It's also like the Headbangers theme, that was stock music. Most of the Attitude Era themes were stock music.
Yeah.
There's I'd say like half was stock, half were Jim Johnson, because that's when he was creating the most themes.
Yeah.
But there was still quite a lot of stock music there. But it's generally how a lot of wrestlers start out anyway, with stock music. Even Dolph Ziggler had stock music.
That I didn't know either. So most of these I have no idea.
Before he started having like the first version of Iron Perfection.
Yeah.
His one was like, it kept going woo woo. Like, yeah. In fact, everything the Hardy Boys have had, and they've had like 3 themes, they've all been stock music.
Yeah.
That's enough about stock music, otherwise I'll just talk forever about stock music. This whole Q&A is probably about the same length of the show previously.
Probably. We'll have to take a look at that when we finish here. All right, the last question is from Andy, who asks, if you could have 2 midget wrestlers headline WrestleMania, would it be Hornswoggle and El Torito in a blindfold match?
No, it'd be Rey Mysterio versus Jamie Noble.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you see him on Raw as well?
Yeah.
There was a slight Jamie Noble chant. He does. He gets a response from the crowd. Anna Finley as well. Finley was there.
Yeah, that one I guess I didn't notice.
But no. See, that'd be kind of a bad match because El Torito would just destroy Hornswoggle. If could even pick him up, because Hornswoggle is like a fat little thing now.
Yeah.
He's essentially a fat sprout.
And from what we already know, El Torito is clearly way more talented in the ring.
Oh, hugely.
Yeah. All right, and that will do it for the Q&A. But lastly, let's get into some plugs before we head off. First off, as I said at the beginning of the show, we have a Facebook group called Intelligent Wrestling Talk. Tons of topics every day. We have pay-per-view chats, Raw chats. I have been, I know I've been slacking on the SmackDown and TNA chats, but I do promise I will put those up in the future. It's where this is also a place where our top 10 starts. One of our members collects all the votes submitted by all of our members, and we do have one. I guess considering it's our most recent one, it's our top 10 UK wrestlers, and we also have another one in the works that's a little more Halloween themed.
Yeah, not strictly Halloween, but basically you just pick 5 of your favorite wrestlers who have wore costumes, and this is like a proper costumes, like El Torito, like Giant Gonzalez, like Ultimate Warrior, Boogeyman, Max Moon, who people seem to be forgetting. Yeah. So just they pick 5 of those, your top 5. Jade from my group turns them into a top 10. Me and Dan will present it. I'll do the video and all the graphics and stuff like I've done with the others. And at the moment we do kind of have a clear winner already, but we're still waiting for anyone who hasn't voted to get their votes in, because as the old saying goes, every vote counts unless it's for the WWE app, and then no vote counts. So yeah,
exactly. And let's see, as far as anything else, do you have any new videos as far as your channel goes?
Nothing. I've been so busy, I've not had any chance to put anything major up. But yeah, if you found me any whatsoever entertaining, I do game commentary. I do little, I don't know, scenes I film by myself on camcorder using anything I can as a tripod when the tripod won't fit where I want it to fit. Right. Do stuff with like action figures, and I just try and be as creative as I can. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/generationspecs. There'll be a link down below. At the moment, I'm in the last few days of a giveaway that I'm doing. If you want to get into capturing video game footage, I'm doing a giveaway for an Elgato. There'll be a link to that video in the description. Just follow the 3 steps. and you're good to go. But that does finish this Thursday, I believe, possibly.
All right. And yeah, so I guess that will do it for all the plugs. So that means we are officially done for this week. I would like to remind you all that there's only one way to talk wrestling.
Intelligently, and there's only one way to moan about it: on the internet.